Hello, I'm Luke Darcy and welcome to Access All Areas, brought to you by OPSM. Coming up on the show, we'll be chatting to Melbourne skipper Jack Trengrove, as well as Dr Peter Larkins. With me now to talk about all the big issues from the weekend is Damien Barrett. Great to catch up there as always, Damo.
Darcy, thanks for coming back, mate. I think the last time we saw you, Carlton was still premiership favourite and Black Caviar had only won 20 races. You've been away a long time, mate.
I've been away for a very short amount of time, Damo.
Just freshened up for the
a little mid-season hiatus, a little bit of work to do, Damo, but I'm back and I'm ready to talk to you right now about the Cats, who are in 7th position on the ladder. 7 wins and 5 losses, including a 6-point loss on Friday night to the Sydney Swans. Where are they at, Damo?
They're in a dicey situation as we speak. I mean, they went into that game. Of the 5 losses they've had, they've been unlucky too. I mean, they lost a round 1 game to Fremantle and they really pushed Collingwood in a Friday night game. But this loss on the weekend, again, it could have gone their way. But what's happening this year is those matches are not going their way. It leaves them with a 10 streak of matches on the run home, which some people will not be giving them 50% strike rate in. And if it is only 50%, they probably miss the finals.
They won 110 games out of 131. It's one of the most successful, I think it is the most successful period any team has ever had. Very, very reluctant, Damo, to write off the side of that quality. They've had some injury concerns. Let's go through it. Yeah, let's look at their run home, and I'll go through the ones that I think they can win. It's a futile exercise.
Port Adelaide.
Guarantee win.
Gold Coast Suns.
They'll knock the Gold Coast Suns off.
Collingwood.
We'll give that one to the Pies.
Yeah, fair enough. Essendon, following week.
We'll say that's a loss, but a 50-50 for me.
Here's another one, Adelaide Crows.
Yeah, look, I reckon they'll win the Adelaide Crows game, yep.
Hawthorn?
Give that a loss. I think Hawthorn good enough to win, 50-50 chance.
West Coast Eagles in Perth.
Yeah, they'll lose that one.
Now, just stop it there. You've given them 3 wins. That's only 10 wins with 3 games to go.
Yeah, so it puts them under the pump a little bit.
So they're not going to make the finals at this stage just right now? Last 3 games?
They win their last 3 games for me. They beat St Kilda. The 2 home games against the Bulldogs and the Sydney Swans down there. Injury being the only concern for them, but that gives them 13 wins.
So they're in the finals. I want to put it to you, they can't win the flag though.
Yeah, look, I mean, you wouldn't want to play them if they finish 8th and you're 5th on the ladder. History says it's almost impossible from outside the top 4. A side that good, Damo, and a side with that quality. Now, albeit it's a very different side.
But is it that good, Das? I know what you talk about, that record they've had and the ability for this team to win premierships, but even just take out the premiership team of last year, there's key players out of that team already. The youngsters, they're good, but are they premiership winning youngsters?
Look, are they going to win it again this year? Sitting here right now, I'd say no. They'll be in the final 8 as far as I can see it. And look out, you wouldn't want to play them. Who knows? They win 2 or 3 and they could be very, very dangerous at that time of the year.
Is it Eagles and Pies in your eyes as we sit here today?
I think they've put a little bit of a gap, Damo, with the rest of the field. And Collingwood in particular, I feel as though them at their best is slightly better than the other contenders in Sydney and Adelaide and Essendon, and throw Geelong into that mix as well. West Coast at home, I reckon they are just about the hardest side to play. If they can get back Kennedy, Lacroix, we're going to speak to Doc Larkins about that shortly. At home, they're a very, very dangerous side. Their issue becomes winning at the MCG, and I thought the win, or the loss on the weekend, was actually a pretty good result against Collingwood. But there's their form, Damo, at the MCG since the 2006 Grand Final.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 11 since that game, and the wins came in, a season 07 against Richmond going really badly, and in 010 against Melbourne when Melbourne was actually trying to throw matches. So it does matter. You know what though, Das? 2 out of 11, it doesn't matter. What happened on the weekend is what matters. They lost that game by 3 points. To me, that's enough. The MCG is no longer an issue for the Eagles. Yeah,
and their likelihood is they only have to play 1 game there, and that might be the grand final if they win that. They are the champions in 2002. I reckon the other great story is the Sydney Swans for mine, Damo. They've always been a great one-on-one competitive team, fantastic, inside, hard and tough, but they've added this outside flair and run that I think has given them this new dimension, and not writing them off as being a serious contender. Obviously, they're sitting in 2nd on the ladder. How exciting is this bloke?
Yeah.
He looked at Matthew Stokes, who's lightning fast, and said, "You're no chance of catching me." That's just so exciting, and it gives them this great outside run as well as the contest they always get.
3 games they've lost. The Crows by a very narrow margin, and then 5-goal losses to Richmond and St Kilda. Do we write them, or do we factor them into being a premiership hope?
The Sydney Swans, absolutely. I think they're more than capable. I love the fact that the transition to John Longmire has been incredible. They haven't had to bottom out. they've been able to just get the most out of their really good senior players. Adam Good comes back in, he'll get better and better. They're a massive chance to win it. You know, we're talking round 13, we're always trying to go crystal ball style into the future, just a little bit behind Collingwood at their best, but a lot to play out, of course, between now and then. We love being live and interactive for Damo. Get involved in the Twitter, and we ask the question, is there anything wrong with the game at the moment? And the overwhelming response has been on umpire interpretations. And this tweet from James, who says, adjudication of incorrect disposal, and hearing the umpire say he made a reasonable attempt to dispose when the bloke has blatantly thrown it or dropped it. James, it's a really good tweet, because I get the feeling watching the game that dropping the ball and incorrect disposal is almost gone. The umpires are just happy to see the ball spill out.
Well, it effectively has. And the video that went around at the start of the year and the briefings we all had, it was a real emphasis given. If you make an attempt to get rid of the ball, you're okay. That is including if you drop it. But if you make a legitimate attempt, I reckon what has snuck in is the players acting as though they're making a legitimate attempt and dropping it. And I agree, I reckon the rule's gone, and I reckon they probably should revert back to what it was.
Well, if it's the case, you'd like to just hear that they're happy to see that there is a bit of a lessening of the throw. Now, you might remember a term going back a few years, the crow throw, and it was Andrew Jarman, it was Tony McGuinness, Craig McDermott, when they first came into the competition.
Is it back?
I think it's back, and the West Coast Eagles have made it their own, Damo. Have a look at a few of these examples.
McGuinness there. Yep.
That's a genuine throw.
Yeah. Even open-handed throw.
Now, one off, we might say, yeah, fair enough. Beau Waters, there's a little bit of a pattern happening here. Very hard for the umpires to pick it up.
Is that a throw?
That's absolutely a throw.
Rosa. He might have got a fist on that, does.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt there, but...
so would he.
Throw.
Yep.
So the Eagle throw, this is...
Swift here.
I reckon
And
there's a little
Swift
pattern forming, Damo, that we're seeing the West Coast Eagles making that little throw their own.
John Worsfold will be really happy you've raised that, Dust.
Yeah, sorry about that one, Woosha. Now, there's a couple of calls on the weekend, Damo, from the umpiring department that I think we need to look at. Now, we don't like going through because the umpires make a blue from time to time.
Does Goods go off the line here?
No, he didn't. This is a shocker.
Is he being a smart aleck by doing what he did? He danced. At the very least, he danced. Have a look.
Well, that's part of your repertoire, Damo. You're allowed to do that.
Look, he's
don't
bringing
move off
trouble
the line,
on
it's
us.
not play on, Damo.
What about this one?
Well, this one...
Enright's taken the mark. Reed runs in.
Well,
and a 50 metres paid against Reed.
Well, unfortunately, the rule is until the umpire blows play on,
Yep.
You're not allowed to move over the mark. Now, Enright definitely moves. The umpire probably should have called play on. In comes Sam Reed, and he's probably a little unlucky in the context
I
of
reckon
that
there's two issues there. He played on, and I don't think Reed actually crossed the mark anyway. But I reckon the Goods one is a borderline one. Technically speaking, you might be right, didn't go off the line. But don't be a smart aleck like that.
We never ever see Geesh come out and say he got one wrong. Today's the day, Geesh. I'm sorry, that one was absolutely wrong. Hey, I know you're excited, Damo. You've just demanded this in the rundown as a North Melbourne supporter, and I'm excited too because the club's been under pressure. James Brayshaw, Brad Scott as well. Fantastic win over the Adelaide Crows, 32 points yesterday. Probably their biggest win of the year aside from the Geelong one.
Oh, it means a lot, but at the same time, it means absolutely nothing, doesn't it? Geelong
Why
in
does it
round
mean nothing?
It means nothing because of what they've dished up against Port Adelaide, Hawthorn and Bulldogs for 3 matches, for instance.
How empty's your glass, Damo? When you have a good win against a side that's inside the top 4, give them the due respect they deserve.
I'll tell you what will mean something is what they do against St Kilda on Sunday.
Well, we can't talk about that until they play St Kilda.
Well,
give them the
we know what they did
beat
after
a
the
good
Geelong
side under pressure. They had young players play really well.
Good.
Why are you so negative?
I'm not negative.
You need a break too. You
I
need to
didn't
get
get
away and get some sun.
Dust, they need to back it up, and you know that.
I think
It's no good beating Adelaide and not backing it up.
We'll wait until they do that next week against the Saints. Well done to North Melbourne. Very excited for you. Unlike Damo, you're a bit like the security at the MCG. You're cantankerous, you're heavy-handed, and you're over the top. Now, this is a bit of fun. Look at the security guards. Hey, boys in yellow, just relax. A bit like Damo. Life's good. You can let the sign stay up, can't you?
I would have thought so.
They're hardly blocking anyone's view.
No, exactly. And what's happening here, Dust? The guy's, I think, quite humorously got a few dollar notes on his jacket. And what's going on here?
Well, apparently he might have sworn. There wasn't a great crowd there.
No.
Let everyone stay in. You don't want to be tossing Melbourne supporters out. Their only win of the year.
Honestly.
That's a bit of fun. Tom Scully's a big enough boy to handle that.
They've got to loosen up, those security guards.
And the Giants fans, they are loose. I think I enjoy this. This is the Hare Krishna boys dancing and singing. Dave Matthews behind this?
Well, I think he was a couple of weeks ago when we had a similar showing by GWS supporters, and yeah, they didn't get too many opportunities to do that though yesterday, did they?
You don't like it because it's fun, Damo.
I think it's contrived, Doc.
Goes against everything you stand for.
If it's natural.
And don't call me Doc again or I'll blow right up. He's coming up very shortly. The Doc. Time for our OPSM poll question. Head to our Facebook page to register your vote on which Thursday night footy show you prefer. Is it the Channel 9 footy show or before the game? We'll have the result of the poll on Friday's Access All Areas with Lethal and Damo. I'm a Marngrook man myself. I think we need that to put in the poll, Damo. Your thoughts?
Oh, one's been around for 19 years, Dust, and one's been around...
Given you're the
There's room
most
for both.
important man
There's
in
room
the
for
media,
both.
Damo, now. I read about.
I like
We need to
before the
take a
game.
break. Damien Barrett is going to stick around. Doc Larkin's coming out next with all of the injury news. Right now, thanks to OPSM, it's time for Did You See That?
Round 13. We witnessed Beam's long-range beauty.
Spectacular!
And Elliott's absolute screamer. There were some clips you may not have seen. The Church of Giantology.
It was all happening here.
More mullets.
I've never seen a mullet-beard combination like that.
And narrowly avoided ball.
Hey, that's really embarrassing.
The top clips you missed from a week of ball-flinging fun. This is Did You See That? Clip 1. Tom Scully's reception from Demons fans was a bit rich.
Palmer slips it away to
But then again, so is he. Clip 2. Sydney could get to their changing rooms within metres. But did you see that because of construction work, Geelong couldn't?
How about this for a track? He's walking through the bar.
That's Sydney hospitality for you. Clip 3. How strong is a point post? Did you see Eric Mackenzie's attempt to find out?
He's pretty happy with his padding on the post too, because that was the back of his head that hit it.
Clip 4. Rules of the Mark Williams School of Spying. Be seen, stay well lit, and wave at all cameras.
Williams in the stand.
Clip 5. Did you see Steve Johnson suffering from the impact of full-strength beer? Tomorrow's recovery session should sort that out. Clip 6. Sydney's success has been attributed to many things. Its players, its coaches, its supporters. But did you see this guy? He's been their lucky charm all year. If he belongs to you, please pick him up from the Swans head office. To vote for your favourite Did You See That moment and to have your chance to win a pair of Oakley sunglasses valued at $159.95, go to afl.com.au/Did You See That.